Okay.
Let's go.
Sean, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, Paul. Let's go.
Okay, Sean. So, first time we've met.
Yes.
We're going to get to know each other a little bit. But the audience also needs to know who you are. So, if you could please just introduce yourself.
All right. So, hey guys, my name is Sean Chan. You might know me for being a cast member on this local media page called SGAG. But on my own, I do comedy stuff and a lot of football content as well. So maybe let me just ask you a random question.
Yes.
So because I do a lot of football content.
Okay.
All right. So do you watch football yourself?
I do.
All right. So which team do you support?
Liverpool.
All right. And this combo is over. I support Arsenal, by the way.
Okay. They had a good season.
We had the best season.
Yes, until the end.
And
But it was always going to happen. I think
City was just too good.
Yes. Yeah, it's just too good. I'm actually looking forward to next season because I think it's going to be a good season that's coming up now.
Do you cry though when Klopp kind of retired?
No, I didn't. But he's been awesome. He's been fantastic. He's still, by and large, I think one of the best managers.
Has been.
On every level. That's what I mean by just as a human being. He's an awesome manager.
He's great.
Yeah.
Can you come to Arsenal next?
Okay.
Okay. Let me not hijack this.
No. This is exactly what we're doing. This is exactly what you're doing. Okay, great. So, Sean, you mentioned a few things that you did there.
Yes.
In a way, in the Singapore landscape, when we talk about being in Singapore, especially with perhaps our parents' generation, a lot of them are like, go into business, become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, have a good stable job and earn money because that is the sign of success. That's not what we do, but we are successful. We are successful in what we do. But if you could share your journey on how you carved out this career for yourself.
Okay. So I don't want to compare myself to you too much, but I'm gonna go on a limb and say we've kind of had a similar career path.
Okay. Yes.
But obviously, he's had much more success than me. And
Wait a minute, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard the story yet.
All right, fair. So I mean, like you mentioned, right? Growing up, my mom was always like, "Nah, I want you to go to aerospace, be an engineer, right?" And then
Yes.
So I watched a lot of wrestling growing up.
Okay, cool.
And I
The
love
original WWF.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. But I love John Cena a lot.
Oh, okay.
Right? So and growing up watching them, right? You hear these stories from wrestling fans all the time. They're so inspired by the characters on the TV.
Yes.
And I think it's because of that made me want to go into the entertainment scene.
I
right?
like that. Okay.
And so growing up, that was kind of all I wanted to do. I never wanted to sit in a cubicle crunching numbers and Excel sheet. Like, no offense if there's any.
Of course.
It sounds like the most boring thing to me. It's essential.
Sure.
But I don't want to do it.
Yep.
Right?
And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Because that's important to know what you want first and foremost.
That's right.
Yes.
So before I carry on, were your parents disappointed in your career path?
No. Mine was a little bit different. So my dad passed away when I was 18. So so that changed my path in a way. I would have probably gone to a different uni, doing a different course, but I had to, step up and be the man of the house. And then I had to make a lot of decisions and do what I felt was right. And for me, because I had to learn to be me earlier than most.
Yes.
I think for a long time, my mother didn't know what I did.
Because it wasn't a very big kind of thing.
In a way, right? And she moved, she lived abroad for a while, and it's only when she finally returned that she'd be like, oh, my friends were telling me they saw you on this TV show and they said they saw you hosting this thing. Wow, so you actually doing quite a few things. I'd be like, yes, Mom, I've been doing it for quite a while. But okay, but it was one of those funny things, and over time I've been able to include her into some of my content and some of the work I do, which is also really cool, which is nice. I mean, I just shot something with her for cooking again,
that's so sweet.
which is really nice.
Okay.
So for the most part, I think they were cool with whatever I was doing. Until dad wasn't around and mom didn't know, and then now mom know, and it's all good. Yeah.
Now the whole Singapore kind of knows what you're doing, so like
no, that's not true. I still got a lot of people who are like, oh, who? And that's fine also, because not everyone watches TV. Not everyone attends events.
Yes.
Yes. Social media, of course. It doesn't matter, right? So.
And we'll get there one day.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's his story. So kind of my story is like, my mom never wanted me to be in this line,
Yes.
how to call it, the freelance acting
Yeah.
life and all right.
That's right.
But she did understand that, you know, kids will be kids. You gotta let them do what they want. Otherwise,
Have their dreams,
Right?
and yes.
so her goal for me was always, okay, I'm gonna let you have your fun until you start university.
Okay.
After that, you need to start considering your career path. So a little quick background about me. In poly,
Yes.
I did Ngee Poly, best poly in Singapore. I did animation there.
Okay.
Right? Not because I liked animation, but because I thought, hey, I can draw cartoons, right? I like watching cartoons, it's kind of cool. But this, at the end of year 1, I realized this isn't what I want to do for a career at all.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like, what am I doing here? So I kid you not, what I did was, I just Googled acting in Singapore. And I don't know if the page is still active, but it's Actors Asia's database, right?
Okay.
There's this like portfolio page where you can create an account and look for auditions. So I paid $150. I don't know if I can say that or not, but I paid the amount and I started going for auditions,
Okay.
right? And I mean, you know, in this line, you get rejected 90% of the time,
Yep.
right? But to me, it's like, you know what? I haven't gone to army yet. No responsibilities. Let's just travel to this ulu part of Tai Seng to some random studio, only to be told, no, you're not good enough, right?
Yeah.
But I think the turning point was when, I don't know whether it's a rite of passage, but kind of like every freelance actor does crime watch, right?
Yes, I've done it.
Yeah, everyone does it, right? And when my mom actually saw me on TV, it was like when something changed in her, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, maybe this isn't as unrealistic as possible.
Correct. There's a realization that wait, he's actually on a show on TV right now.
Like, I can actually
That means
see the results.
He's done something.
Yes.
Yes.
Because, I mean, our parents, right, they're not going to watch all the random freelance or student projects or advertisements, right?
Yeah.
They're going to see what's on TV first.
Yes.
And it's not their fault, right?
Sure.
But I guess I was very lucky that I looked close enough to the gangster on that one episode that MediaCorp decided to call me.
Love it. What year was that?
2013. Okay, so I'm not sure whether you're familiar. It was in that viral episode where they said it was the two girls and they're like, oh no, how dare you call me a prostitute? It was in the episode.
Okay.
Yes.
I need my sister is a producer for Crime Watch, so I don't know whether she was on it 10 years ago or 11 years ago, but she's definitely the EP now, so that's quite interesting.
Ask her about that. My claim to fame is
Okay.
leeching off that one viral moment.
Okay, I will ask.
So in army, again, this is maybe illegal, but I kind of moonlighted as
It's not illegal.
Yeah,
because you don't pay us enough when we do NS, but it's okay. You were carving out your career whilst you had another job, which is what a lot of people do. Let's just go that way.
Okay, cool. So I feel like I'm just telling my whole life story. You want to fire more questions or
No. This is what it's all about. I want to hear your story.
Okay, cool. So in the army, I continued acting.
Yes.
And achieved varying degrees of success. I wouldn't say I mainstream one, no, I'm not. But I love the freelance life.
I love it too.
I love traveling around, meeting different actors, and you get to meet so many different kinds of people. And you know, the feeling is, it's a weird thing to say, but when you go on set and the PA is like, hey, you want water and all that, like, oh my god, like for me, and, all right, I like that, and I continued doing it. So I thought, okay, why not I study acting in Singapore?
Right.
For my uni, right? And where else would you go to study acting in Singapore? LaSalle. Right? But plot twist. So this is where I flunked it very badly. So I had maybe 3 months to prepare for like a Shakespearean monologue and another monologue of my choice, right? And 18-year-old me just didn't take it seriously, right? I only started preparing the day before.
Oh gosh.
And as someone who doesn't read or watch any of this, I just had to memorize. And for my own personal monologue, I just took a wrestling 20-minute segment, and they kept cutting a promo, so I cut a promo in front of the judges, and the next day they just sent me a letter saying thanks, but it was a very thin letter, so it's rejected.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then after that, I thought, okay, this is not going to work out. what's the next best thing that most people in this kind of line would want to do? Mass comm.
Yes.
So my results weren't great. I couldn't make it into NTU or NUS. I went to mass comm in SIM.
Okay.
Still a great place, SIM.
Yep. Still good. Still very good.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And during that period, I still continued acting on the side because my mom was like, "Sure, get your degree while acting on the side, right?"
Why not?
Yeah, and there's this small little community of freelance actors. I'm sure you've known some of them.
Yes,
They're
yes.
the best, most supportive people ever, and I love it.
Yes.
I love so much, right? So in comms, after that, I was like, all right, I can do writing. Okay.
Yep.
So naturally, I thought, where is one place that I can go to do camera work and writing at the same time?
Yeah.
So I applied for an internship at Smart Local.
Good job.
Right? And then it was through that they're like, hey, you want to appear on camera? Hey, come on, apply. So from there, more people noticed me.
Yep.
And then after the internship ended, because I was kind of doing comedy meme content there, and the next question was, where in Singapore, which company would pay you to do memes for a living? And if you Google, there's only one company.
Yeah.
And I would say I'm very lucky. I was very lucky, right time, right place.
It was the right time.
It was the right time. I managed to get a job. And I'm not sure how familiar you are, because my first claim to fame, for lack of a better word, was being on this series with this girl called Nadia. So it was Sadia, right? And we had this chemistry that was very entertaining to watch. And how it began was because we genuinely argued a lot in real life.
Okay.
Right? But then the people were like, that's actually quite funny, yeah.
Yeah, we need to film this.
Yeah, let's just make this a series.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm always grateful for the opportunity, right? Like, Nadia, I don't know if you're watching this, but very grateful for it. And that was what propelled me into the more mainstream eyes.
Yes.
And after that, after she left and all, I managed to continue doing my own thing in football. And here's where I am now.
Yeah.
Loving every day of my job.
Love it.
Yes, but I don't know how boring was it.
It wasn't boring because I think you hit a lot of milestones there, which most people would be able to connect with. As a Singaporean male, for example, we all go to school.
Yes.
We all go to NS. A lot of us maybe go to uni, go to some tertiary education, or at least go and get a job after NS. But how do we figure all this out? Right, in a way. I think we, NS is great for so many things. If you look at it, look, everything is good if you look at the positive side of what this experience is going to give me.
Yeah.
But it's also not good for a lot of things, of course. I mean, 2 years of your life
in your prime,
just gone. It can be difficult, and especially when a lot of people who go to NS don't want to be there, they're unhappy, and it's torture. They literally struggle for 2 years, and it's quite sad. So even when I went in, I was like, I'm going to make the most of this, even though I had my SAFSA attachment with rugby to a certain extent.
Can I ask you what were you doing in NS?
I was a regimental policeman. FDS. I was a field defense squadron at Changi Air Base.
Okay.
So pretty fun, kind of infantry. But then got also put into the pass office because I'm Ang Mo. So you speak really good English and you look good. I think we need you in the front office.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, Ken. Foster can do that. But I was still gonna use it to the one thing I always take away from NS is I learned, the biggest takeaway is I learned a lot about people, but I learned a lot of the bad things about people, which is important. You need to know.
Sometimes it's good to know what you don't want to do, what you don't want to turn out like.
Yeah, and then you can start to read. You learn to read, and you learn to adapt.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of happy, nice people in the army.
A lot.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's another story as well. But so what you're sharing is, from what I picked up, you had quite in a way, your flow of your journey to your career. You said it. Right time, right place, right people, if you think about it, right? Which I say that a lot, because in life, opportunities is about that.
Yeah.
You just happen to come in a time where what you wanted to do fit with things that were just starting and happening, and you were like, you obviously use Google a lot, which is very good, because you're like, I need to search, this is what I want to do. Oh, this pops up, let me go and try.
Easier than people think, right?
Correct.
Just do it, right?
You know, this is okay, I'll try here.
Yes.
Oh, this, and you went and you got, and you
Yes.
took each step at a time, and you went and you got it.
But so I mean, really, I hope I'm not coming off as arrogant here, right? But
Not at all.
you know, people have come and asked me like, hey, how do you do it? What's your secret?
Right.
All right, but
There's no secret, bro.
yeah, so I can never give proper advice because honestly, it's just about being lucky sometimes.
Yes.
Which goes against, you know, hardworking, believing in your dreams and all. But sometimes, ultimately,
No, but you make your own luck. I firmly believe you make your own luck.
Okay.
Because you still have to look out for the signs and the opportunities, and you still have to
Yes.
walk through the door and take the opportunity. People who say they have a lot of bad luck and nothing ever pans out for them are the ones that don't do a Google search,
Yes.
don't see something, don't put an application in, don't get on stage and do a monologue from WWF, don't be rejected and told you don't really fit into our system here, but thank you for coming on stage and giving us that interesting monologue. But what did that do? That forced you to pivot, change, find something else.
That's right.
And you like, hey, mass comm, yeah, because that's connected to media, and media, okay, in the freelance acting community, and then from there I can go to this. And it's about not stopping,
true.
and it's about finding your path on how you want to get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
Right? So when you said, I don't know if this applies to anyone or you being not at all. I think your story actually applies to more people than you ever would have thought.
Thank you for the kind words.
Especially here in Singapore, because again, as what we have to do, navigate with school, national service,
Yeah.
tertiary, or going straight into a workforce.
I mean, it's a lot easier now if you want to go into media. Just use TikTok and then just like that's it.
Social media has changed the game.
Yeah.
The whole digital space has changed the game. I mean, I come from the analog era, so I'm old school in that way, but I'm very lucky that I transitioned into digital. So I had a lot of my pioneers who couldn't transition because they were already just too old in that
It's
way.
not something that they grew up with.
Correct.
It's hard to adapt.
So I was lucky. So I still always count my blessing that I have lived both eras because I'm in that middle.
Yes.
So I have a bit of both because I had to hustle back in the day to do my networking face to face at the events and the shows and everything I was doing to create my network. Where now a lot of it is digital. You connect on Instagram.
Now people just reach out to you already.
Yeah, and so it's a bit different. But you have a very interesting path in the way that, if I may say, and again, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I've spoken to a lot of people today. You're the last person I'm speaking to. From what you've just kind of told me, though, you're the one person I feel has had the path of least resistance.
Wow.
Yes.
That means everyone else really struggled hard and worked hard, and I just fell into place here.
To a certain extent. I mean, not in, yes, in how you kind of said it, but not because it's more than that. I just feel like I can feel from your energy and your vibe and how you do you.
Yeah.
You are happy, optimistic kind of person, looking at more the glass is more half full than half empty, and you will create your path accordingly. You're not going to bushwhack through this trail because you're like good. I'm not saying you're necessarily lazy, but what you are is you
passionate, you know.
Yes, you work smart, not work hard. Basically, that's what I pick up from you. It's not a bad thing because I'm a bit of both as well.
I'm not the most driven person out there. I fully acknowledge.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I picked up. You don't bushwhack through this trail now where you're like, I need to take my parang out. I need to cut these trees down and these roots and these vines to get to the other side. I'm just gonna jump over this small stream, go up this little hill, walk across the top line there, and then pop back down, and I'll reach the goal there because it's the path of least resistance.
If it's stupid but it works, it's not stupid, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
That's how smart it is. So that's what I picked up from you. So I wanted to ask, like, what challenges you may have faced or the failures you may have, overcome. But to be fair, I feel like you I mean, we all have challenges, of course. We all have failure. I mean, I guess the failure I would say would be the rejection you got from LaSalle could be considered a failure because you got rejected. A literal letter.
But that was my own doing.
Right.
I acknowledge it.
So you failed.
Yes.
But you turned that failure into what do I need to do now to be successful to continue on my life path, on my journey?
But I guess if you're talking about struggles, right? I guess maybe let's fast forward a bit to my time in SGAG, right? And because I always had a mindset that it's easier to grow if you're a girl on social media, right? I mean, objectively speaking, it's easier to gain following,
yes,
right? And then I was thinking, shucks, how do I stand out? Because I'm just an average Chinese guy, right? How do I make people care about my content? So I guess I would consider it a struggle because back then, when you're younger, right, I always compared myself to why am I not getting this opportunity from so and so, and I was in a more negative space. I was like, I was miserable. Like, I work as hard behind the scenes.
Why am I not getting?
And then, but it took a few years. But after that, I realized, you know what? Actually, no point comparing lah.
Nah.
Because right, I realized that I've met a lot of people who would feel that I made it. Like a lot of people would kill to be in my position.
Yes.
And then it's like, why am I so unhappy for? Yes. So no need compare lah. Actually, really, as long as you're happy with what you do, okay. But I do wish maybe I took business in poly or what. I need more money now.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, money comes and goes.
Yeah, money can always
exactly. And on your point with comparing, so I never compare up. I always compare myself down.
Oh. Okay.
So I compare myself down because then I know how many people would love to be in my position in life. I am grateful for the life I live. I'm blessed. I will compare down to know this person doesn't even have a roof over their heads. That's why we go and build a house for them. This person struggles to eat 3 meals a day. You know, maybe they have 2. One small, one medium. You know, there are real life people that are really struggling in life.
These are things that we don't really need to worry about.
We don't need to worry.
Fortunate enough.
We're very fortunate. We're very privileged. They talk about this privilege word, but I tell everyone, actually, if we can sit here and do the things we do in general, when someone is asked the question like, what is privilege? And we're sitting in this like auditorium and we're wearing the clothes we're wearing and we've got a coffee and whatever, I'm like, we're already very privileged.
So people like to think, when they think of privilege, you know, golden spoon, you need to buy polo, your parents are
private jet.
Yeah.
Right. A generational wealth.
Yes.
Whatever. I'm like, actually, that's a different thing. And I always say we're very privileged because we're safe, we're healthy, we're happy.
Being born in Singapore is one of the most privileges, really.
There you go.
Yeah. And I also realized, like this might sound like cliche and all, but what I love so much about my job now is that because a lot of people come up to me like him as well, like, I love your content so much, like I'm a big fan, and like you get to make people's day even a little bit better.
Yeah.
And this kind of thing, you can't just use money and all, right? And I think, what's the classic saying? I'm not sure from where it's like, you die 2 times, right? First when you really die, and then when people forget about you, right? But like I guess people like us, we get to impact other people in a more positive manner, and I think that is something that also keeps me going, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not for the fame, really, not for the money. Genuinely, money is good, yes, but I love it when people genuinely enjoy the things.
Yeah, and they come and they say, hey, you're damn funny, that thing you did. It's like cool. Like I get a lot of the makciks. The makciks will come to me and be like, wow, you very nakal lah. You play that guy I don't like you. I don't like you on TV.
Means you did a great job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now I speak to you, actually you're a very nice guy. And then, thank you, makcik. Thank you. That means that I've done my job. Yeah. So it works, right? And different levels, different things, different people. So be it.
So like this goes back to watching wrestling back then, right? They made me feel emotions.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a very fortunate position where I can invoke that same emotions in people that watch the content.
Absolutely.
I just hope that I am not a different person in real life, like I'm not that kind of like, I don't want to be like, oh, this guy is stuck up and arrogant already.
Well, that's it. That's what I've always found as well. And I'm picking that vibe up from you too. When we do our work and what we do, we're just being ourselves.
Yeah.
Because the easiest thing is to really be yourself.
Yes.
And then when you're genuinely yourself, and that's what you do, people can connect with that easier too, and they get it. Of course, yeah, we can act.
Yeah.
We can become another person and play another role, sure. But for more often than not, when we're just trying to be ourselves and do us on that platform, in whatever stage you need to be on, that's nice. That works really well.
Yeah. So like a little side story is like I'm sure you get a ton of messages on your social, right? And I really genuinely try to reply to every single one, because to me, right,
As long as they're respectful,
if they can take the time to craft out a message,
I would.
It's rude if I don't at least return the favor.
I'm
right?
the same as you. Yes, I try.
Yeah, like I'm not bigger than you. I'm not better than you. Really, I'm just another guy doing what I love.
Yes.
So if you reach out to me, and people will like, oh, I'm very shy to say hi to you. I'm like, no, just come out to me. If I'm not with my family, or I'm not rushing, just come out. I love to chat.
Yes.
Say hi.
Yes.
Because if not for you guys, right, I wouldn't be here.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you look back on your journey, and if one of these fans or just people, let's just say an everyday person, they love what you do, they reach out, they write to you, they say, I love your work, you made me laugh today, thank you so much, I was down and you lifted my spirits. If they ask you for advice with career, and if you look back on your own journey and you could give them any advice, if they were asking you, what would that be?
So I mean, I can't tell them to be lucky, lah, right? But to me, what I kept consistent throughout was passion. Because I think after a while, if you don't have the passion, things will run out, right? And I know it sounds cliche, but like that's the most important thing that will keep you going. And because I consider myself someone that's more emotional over logical.
Okay.
Right? And if you don't believe in yourself the most, who's going to believe in right? So you need to be your own number one supporter first. Then you can keep going and just keep trying. Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure I went for at least like, let's say 100 auditions. 99 of them were rejected, right? But if I stopped at any of those 99, that one success wouldn't have found it.
Yeah, and that's what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one opportunity, which unfolds the next thing and the next thing and the next thing.
But I guess, I mean, this advice only applies to the I guess the media scene, right? Because I'm sure.
Well, not necessarily.
Other industries.
We go for auditions. They go for job interviews.
Oh, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
We go for auditions. They go for the presentation to their team, their boss, their whatever. Right? We go for a script read. They have their team meeting, and so it's applicable in that sense. Yeah. And it is all different. But fundamentally,
you need the interest.
Yeah, we're all just trying to do what we're trying to do. Yeah. So for you, I'm going to end off with the question I've asked everyone.
Okay.
Could you help us define success? What is success to you?
What is success to me?
Yes.
Ooh. So I kind of shared this a while ago already, right? But if you would ask me what success is, right? The one story about my mom recognizing me on Prime Watch, that always comes back to me, because that was the pivotal moment where I was able to finally do more of what I want. So that's success to me. And I guess, again, privileged spot, right? But success to me is being able to look forward to going to work every day. And I have enough to spend on a little bit, like let's say if this food is like $10, I can afford to buy that.
Yes.
I'm okay. I'm really okay. You know,
yes.
I don't earn enough to go on holidays every time, but I don't need that. Right? I think be happier.
Yes.
Right? Because to me, and I don't know whether this is bleak or not, but life is meaningless, right? You just do what makes you happy every day, and then at the end of it, don't regret it. Yeah.
I love it. That's a good way to have that core, to have that, right? Be happy.
But I say this acknowledging that I have been privileged and fortunate enough in my situations.
Sure.
Yes.
As have I, and maybe everyone in this room. So thank you, Sean.
Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you for sharing with us your insights and your story.
Yes. How long has it been? I felt like we just flew by.
Yeah, we did. We had a nice chat. That's it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Half hour, 35 minutes.
Did I talk too much? No.
No. It was great. We've ranged from 15 minutes to half an hour, depending, and it's fine.
At least I'm not the 15 minutes guy, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, but genuinely, I hope there was interesting enough content to.
She only needs like 3 minutes from you, bro. It's okay.
Okay, good luck.
I told you, you gave us enough.
Good luck to the editor for.
Because it's like talk too much. Hey, you got to give us more. If you give us, it's the same thing with everything, like content.